Recently, there have been efforts from Trump administration to stop the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. To sign the deal, and I am hearing recently that he have signed it, and he wants the deal to be renegotiated again. Number one. Number two, the Russian side, they seems to be making things not to be very easy for Trump administration. And I think that is why the Trump administration came out recently to say, you know what, we are going to give you guys another chance. But if you guys refuse to play like an adult, we are going to leave you to continue unaliving yourself. And I am like, what do you think might be the biggest hindrance to this peace deal?
The biggest hindrance to this peace deal will be from Europe. Actually, from Europe,
Why do you think so?
because because the European they are people that they are the parasite. We should They are the parasite. They depend on other people for survival. And the Ukrainians have a lot of resources that they want, and some European companies are taking it from them. So, what do you think if Russia and Ukraine negotiate peace? Because Russia is saying that they can never allow those regions to be part of Ukraine anymore,
Yeah,
and definitely the Russians are going to get their will, and most of those resources are in those regions. So you should know that when those resources go to Russia, the European can easily steal them, and they can't take it at a low price anymore. And they will have to come to Africa. And now, some African countries are standing up against the Europeans, and eventually we are going to see more African countries who are standing up against the Europeans. So how will Europe survive? So the Europeans know all of that. So they are trying. They will fight hard to prevent that peace deal. So when even Zelensky go to the table, that guy is just a comedian who want more money. So if Europe can print more money and give it to him, he's waiting to slaughter everybody in Ukraine. That'll be honest. So the European are the major enemy to peace in Ukraine.
right. Now, if they print more money, he's ready to allow his people to be unalived. Ask you this. Don't you think that preventing this peace deal from happening is actually endangering the whole world? Right? Because Trump administration wholeheartedly wants to stop all this conflict. He wants to see peace return, and he wants to see people from being unalived. But now there is few elements of people who do not want it to stop. But if this conflict continue for a long time, my fear is that it might actually end up with nuke, and by then it might affect the entire Europe. So does Europeans actually want real global conflict, or what are they seeking for? Because there must be aim beyond minerals.
They, if you give chance to the criminal to go in the United States Federal Reserve for them to steal money, um, they are
Yeah,
going to steal as much as they can.
yeah,
After a few times, when they tell them another money is somewhere for them to steal, they are still going to steal it. They are not thinking about the danger. They are only thinking about the money. So that's how the European. We should firstly understand the nature of the European. The European can survive only in chaos. That's how the European can survive. That's their history. We should firstly understand their history. They only survive through chaos. From time to time in history, the Europeans have always been in chaos, killing, slaughtering each other until they find another people to slaughter, which was the African. And again, they slaughter the African too. and then they went back again among themselves. They divided themselves into Jewish, European, like that, and they start to slaughter each other again. So after that slaughtering was finished, they started moving from country to country against slaughtering people for them to survive. That's how the Europeans have always been surviving. So Europe don't means any good for the world. They don't care.
Actually, their history is very rough, eh?
Yeah, so before before you judge somebody, when you, like for example, when you go to court in in the US, before they start to judge you, they start to read, or a criminal case. If if they want to build a criminal profiles, they first they read the criminal history, and they know that person history, then they can determine how long that person can stay in jail, if that person can if when they free that person can live a better life if it was mistake, or if that crime is in the person's DNA. So that's how they investigate people most often. They read the person profile, their background, their history. So looking at the European history, it just slaughter. So the European don't care if they use nuclear weapon or not. All they want is just want money.